Actually, just a thing that is tough. If you like when you as you get older, it's hard to be. Tend to put on weight. You know, certainly that's happening with me. You know, like as the older I get, I'm like, damn, it's harder to stay lean. That's for sure. And so actually being overweight is a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a fact. Well, yeah.
The New York hospital said it was the #1 factor for severe COVID symptoms was obesity. That was the number one factor.
It is. That's yes, exactly.
But it's also, we live in a world where people want to be sensitive to other people's feelings. So
absolutely.
We don't want to bring up the fact that being fat's bad for you. It's a judgment on your...
Food's great.
Yeah, I do love food.
Yeah, and I mean, to be totally frank, I mean, speaking for myself, I'd rather eat tasty food and live a shorter life. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, those moments of enjoying a great meal.
Yeah.
And then even talking about it, they're valuable. They're worth something. Yeah, it's not. We don't want to eat Soylent Green and live to be 160.
No. I don't want to eat. Tasty food is great. It's one of the best things about life.
It really is. Yeah, it's an art form as well. It's like fine food. It's a delicious sandcastle. It's temporary. It doesn't last very long, but there's something about it that's very pleasing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I don't know what advice to give. Like, maybe have the tasty food with smaller amounts of it.
Yes. Yeah. And I think regulated feeding window is really the way to go. Some sort of an intermittent fasting approach.
Sure.
When I started doing that, I found myself to be quite a bit healthier. And when I've deviated from that, I've gained weight.
So what's
16 hours.
Well,
I like 16 hours. Yeah.
So like at night or
yeah. So I get to a certain point and then I count out. I usually hit the stopwatch on my phone, and then I look at 15 hours in. I'm like, okay, got an hour before I can eat.
Yeah.
And so anything in between that is just water or coffee.
Actually, you know, like this may be a useful bit of advice for people, but eating before you go to bed is a real bad idea, and actually negatively affects your sleep.
Yeah.
And it can actually cause heartburn that you don't even know is happening, and that subtle heartburn affects your sleep because you're horizontal and your body's digesting. So if you want to improve the quality of your sleep, be healthier, it's do not eat right before we're going to sleep.
Yeah.
It's like one of the worst things you could do.
Some of the biggest mistakes I've ever made. I've done that particularly after comedy shows. I'm starving.
Sure.
I'll come home and I'll eat, and then I go to bed and I just feel like shit. And I wake up in the middle of the night. Like,
it's gonna crush your sleep, and it's gonna damage your pyloric sphincter and your esophagus, and it's so. In fact, drinking and then going to sleep that's one of the worst things you could do.
Yes.
So just try to avoid drinking and eating
booze.
Drinking
booze.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Don't small amounts of alcohol that evidence suggests it doesn't have a negative effect on
I put in the same category as delicious food. It kind of makes things a little more fun. I like it.
I mean, some of the people who have lived the longest, there was a woman in France who I think maybe has the record or close to it, and she had a glass of wine every day. So it's like small amounts is fine. This is like I learned this like quite late in life. It's like just avoid having alcohol and avoid eating at least 2 or 3 hours before going to sleep, and your quality of sleep will improve, and your general health will improve a lot.
For sure.
It's a big deal, and I think not widely known.
Do you have time to exercise?
A little bit.
Do you have a trainer or anything?
I do, although I haven't seen him for a while. But especially if I'm out, like say working on Starship or something in South Texas, and I'm just living in I got a little house there in Boca Chica Village. And I don't have much to do, so or like I'm working and then I'll do just lift some weights or something, maybe I like I don't. Some people love running. I don't love running. But
What do you like to do exercise wise?
To be totally frank, I wouldn't exercise at all if I could. But if I prefer not to exercise. But if I'm going to exercise and lift some weights and then kind of run on the treadmill and maybe watch a show that if there's a compelling show that like pulls you in.
Right. Yeah, that's a
like,
good thing to do. Yeah. Watch a good movie or episode
exactly.
of Black Mirror or something like that. It's great.
Man, don't watch Black Mirror before going to bed either.
Well, don't watch Black Mirror today. It's too fucking accurate.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, wait, this already happened in real life.
Yeah, it's too close.
It's too close.
Well, didn't you say that the guy who makes Black Mirror?
Today, my mic's off. He said it's not a good time to start season 6.
Yeah, he wants to hold off because reality
He's nailed it.
Is Black Mirror.
Oh man,
it's like he's gonna have to like reassess and attack it from a different angle.
Yeah,
you should try